The Simpsons is America's longest running animated show, and one of the longest running TV shows ever. For longer than I've been alive, The Simpsons has been an institution on television. It's been running for over 35 years, has won 36 Academy Awards, and has enraptured millions of people all around the world for decades. America was once obsessed with this charming yellow family, and in many ways, still very much are. Now, I grew up watching The Simpsons. I had seasons 6 and 7 on DVD, season 1, 2, I think, and whatever my dad had recorded on VHS tapes from live TV. Oh, I also remember when I found a website called like WatchFreeSimpsonsNow.net or something in like 2009, and that felt like hitting a fucking gold mine as a kid. Unlimited Simpsons, unlimited viruses on my family computer. So needless to say, I'm a big fan of Homer. I know a lot about it. But for a long time, I think people have also given the show way too much credit for its ability to predict cultural or political events. Most of the time, what people consider predictions are either complete coincidences or just observant enough satire that it feels prescient. Or they just lie. That's also a thing too. People just lie. But before I get too into it, here's a quick word from today's video sponsor.
This video was sponsored by Fume. Listen, if you're someone who vapes, imagine taking that vape and destroying it. I have the power to do this, and I know exactly what I can replace it with, thanks to Fume. Fume is a flavored air device designed as an alternative to help people move away from vaping. Whether you have an oral fixation like I do, or feel pressured in social settings where other people are vaping, you can rely on Fume to take the edge off, with no nicotine or vapor at all. Fume's natural flavored air gives you something to crave without the drawbacks, or risk of addiction. Fume uses these flavor cores that have essential oils in them, and they come in a ton of different flavors. My favorite flavor that they sent me is the raspberry lemon. It smells nice. I'm not coughing like I would with a vape. There's no downside, and I could fidget with it all day long. Nobody gets mad at me. Sometimes I want to take a tolerance break, but I still need something to fidget with or use as a replacement for the oral fixation. If you've ever instinctually reached out while working at a desk for some kind of vice, then you might have an oral fixation, and Fume is great for that. It even comes with this magnetic stand so I can have it ready anytime I need it. But having that same oral fixation makes having vapes around kind of a hazard, and Fume is a great alternative and a great fidget toy, I have to say. I mean, listen to this. Over 500,000 people have already added Fume to their daily routine, and I get why. It's simple, satisfying, and comes with none of the downsides of smoking or vaping. And right now, if you order Fume's Journey Pack with my code EdenRiley, you'll get a free Fume topper for your Fume device. I got mine on me regularly. It just gives a little bit of a texture and a coating. It's nice for mouthfeel if you're a big mouthfeel kind of guy. It's a free topper, it helps the channel, and it might help you too. So if you've been thinking about changing habits, this is the perfect first step. Go to tryfume.com/EdenRiley or scan the QR code on your screen to grab yours today. Thank you so much to Fume for sponsoring the channel and for helping hundreds of thousands of people, myself included, move away from vaping. Let's get back to the video.
Of course, most if not all of The Simpsons writers and producers are Ivy League educated and well connected in entertainment and media in general. The creator of the show himself, Matt Groening, allegedly received a foot massage on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, just as one example. They've had the most famous actors, musicians, and celebrities on as guests. It's like animated SNL, except funny. Now, I'm not saying these connections make them psychic or anything, but the people involved in producing the show are going to have political and maybe cultural insight that most other people just aren't gonna have by the nature of their status. And I think it only tracks that their social commentary would reflect that. But also, they're wrong all the time, and I think people like to overlook that a lot. I mean, Homer Simpson voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016.
So, who are you voting for? The candidate who forgave her husband no matter what he did. Not the guy who really likes his daughter.
Wow, predicted. Beyond what just happens in the show, sometimes Simpsons predictions take on an entire life of their own. From misinterpretations to misleading fan edits, all the way to fully AI-generated content, there's an entire ecosystem around Simpsons predictions. Not just spreading them, but also debunking them, explaining them, making fun of them. God, it's so surreal to have actual mainstream media like the BBC reporting on this kind of stuff. This is what BuzzFeed writes about, or like YouTubers. The Simpsons conspiracy theories that aren't true! Holy shit, dude, they predicted the Baltimore Bridge collapse? Homer, do something! The Notre Dame fire is really funny. It says Notre Dame of Springfield. How is that a prediction? That's a different one. These people clearly don't understand the show. I also like that they had to make it on fire because it's not on the episode. It's not what it's about. They also just put Mr. Burns there. He is happy that the cathedral is on fire. Yeah, just some more biting commentary from The Simpsons, all right? I've wanted to make a video about Simpson predictions for so long that the problem has actually gotten worse in the time that I've been sitting on this idea. Like, even before AI generated content was a thing, I wanted to make a video about this. So I guess waiting isn't always a bad thing, and I'm not lazy, because now I got a lot more to talk about. So some of the earliest examples are like The Simpsons predicting the Super Bowl, right? Kind of innocent, kind of cute, whatever. It's also like a 50-50 chance when you already know the two teams going to the Super Bowl. But I distinctly remember in 2020, people kept pointing at this random, I think season 7 episode where Marge goes to prison and acting as if The Simpsons had some sort of prediction for COVID and the killer hornets or whatever that were around at the time. The Simpsons may have predicted murder hornets and the coronavirus pandemic. This is ABC News. Here's a brief description of what happens in the episode. An illness travels from Japan to Springfield. Okay, we're already not even correct. I guess people are just so racist that they saw like characters that are, you know, stereotyped to be Asian and just ignored the context of the episode and were like, no, that's Chinese because COVID. Even though China released a report detailing the results of a joint study from China and the WHO that explained that COVID probably came from America and not China. Nobody wants to talk about that. Upon opening the boxes and letting the germs out, the people of Springfield fall sick and the disease, named the Osaka flu, spread. Citizens began demanding a cure, and during a mob scene outside a hospital, knock over a truck containing crates labeled killer bees. These homicidal insects swarm out of their container and wreak havoc. Bill Oakley, who co-wrote the episode, criticized the parallels between the episode and the COVID-19 pandemic a few days after the Hanks news, telling the Hollywood Reporter the story was nothing more than a cartoonish joke inspired by a flu that hit Hong Kong in 1968. Yeah, diseases come from places. I don't know if that's like a prediction at all. And then the hornets, I think, are not even a plot point of the episode. They're literally like a one-off joke. But you know, that's the same as a prediction. The Simpsons has also allegedly predicted the deaths of celebrities. When I was a kid, I distinctly remember watching a video about how The Simpsons had predicted Michael Jackson's death date. It was like a skiing episode or something, and Homer was skiing down a slope, and a sign said Michael Jackson 2010 or 2009 or whatever it was. I can't find it, but I'm sure it's real. But whenever I try to look it up, I just get swamped with other Simpsons death predictions, as well as news and rumors about the episode that was taken off of Disney Plus in 2019 that featured Michael Jackson. What I did find, though, were TikToks describing how Michael Jackson is still alive, and The Simpsons are leaving clues to tell you that he is.
10. When I was your age, I had 6 gold records.
Hey, Looney Tunes! This is what Michael Jackson looks like. You look like a big fat mental patient.
You'd be amazed how often I hear that.
Who'd be better to take advice from than a man who wears one glove?
Okay, I didn't really get that one, to be honest. I guess because they reused that character in a later episode, Michael Jackson had to have voiced him. It's definitely not him. Dude, this has 600,000 likes. Is it just because they used the creepy music? No! And then the entire second half of the video is dedicated to making the argument that Michael Jackson is still alive, but he's Dave, the producer. Even though there are pictures of Michael Jackson and Dave together. And they're using a video of Dave describing their friendship. It's him all along. Remember, MJ was quite the master of disguise. The Simpsons movie, The President Made a Dome, and now Donald Trump is doing it when he comes back to keep people out of America so no war. The Simpsons predicted it. The dome. Trump is putting a dome over America so no more war. Oh, here's one. The Simpsons did not predict Queen Elizabeth II's death. Yeah, I'll actually have to take a look at the evidence here. I'll be the judge of that. In 2014, she's in court. She's like suing Homer or something. And then she just dies. Then she's just dead. Homer kills her. That looks real to me. I mean, that looks like a psychic future prediction. The episode probably did definitely take place in 2022. This is a great example, and so are the other ones to a certain extent, of pre-AI, or at least like not using AI in Simpsons predictions, because they're a very specific kind of edit to make, and I really like it. I think it's really funny to do this. Dude, The Simpsons predicted it. Here's a New York Post article predicting 9/11 was an insane coincidence, says The Simpsons showrunner. Predicting 9/11? And they didn't fucking, nobody did anything? I mean, this story is so stupid. This is not a prediction at all. It's literally Lisa holding a brochure, or maybe it's Maggie, that says New York, $9 for a Greyhound bus ride, I think is what it is. And the Twin Towers are in the skyline because they were in the skyline when the episode came out in 1996, but it just almost kind of looks like it says $9.11. Wow, holy shit, they predicted it. They knew it was gonna happen, and they're saying that it's gonna happen. Except I guess they thought it was gonna be with a bus instead of a plane. I mean, there's even an old comic strip from like the 90s of Mario knocking over the Twin Towers that I would consider more of a prediction than whatever I'm looking at here. In the same article, they also mentioned that The Simpsons predicted the end of Game of Thrones. I guess 2 years before the series finale, they did a Game of Thrones themed episode where a dragon burns down their village. And in the end of the show, the dragon burns down the city. This sucks, dude. This is so bad. Is this just what the New York Post does on a slow news day? Look at what The Simpsons did. I mean, that one is literally just a coincidence. They're not predicting the show ends like that, because that would be crazy to end the show like that. There's another silly theory that The Simpsons predicted Trump announcing he would be president. And this one I see all the time. Trump going down the golden escalator announcing his presidential run, and Homer is behind him because that's how you know it's The Simpsons. And this is just one example of something that people say The Simpsons predicted, when in reality they wrote and animated this scene after it happened in real life. But I guess people just lie. There is probably the closest thing to a prediction in this entire video, and that's the one episode where Lisa becomes president in the future and talks about inheriting a budget crunch from President Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten? We're broke.
This is supposed to be like a silly joke, an absurdist silly joke that's definitely looked into way more than it should be. And it probably wasn't a secret that he was a power-hungry, kleptocratic maniac, even back when this episode came out. Okay, now we're getting into the real meat of the issue here. For like 2 years now, Simpsons predictions have been an entire genre of AI-generated content. Like almost immediately after AI-generated content became available to the public. And there's a fuck ton of it.
The Simpsons predicted Coldplay's Kiss Cam drama years ago.
Tomorrow could be the day that changes your life forever. In an old episode of The Simpsons, Ned Flanders had a dream about lottery numbers.
Simpsons predicted that on August 9th, 2025, a mysterious set of numbers would be drawn in the Powerball lottery.
The Simpsons predicted 3 disasters hitting in September 2025. Number 1 has already happened. Number 3, a deadly bug disease spreads across America.
Simpsons predicted in 2026, the United States will face a snowstorm from January 19th to January 25th, bringing the coldest week of the year with record low temperatures. The Simpsons predicted that September 15th, 2025 is the day everything in America comes to a stop. Did The Simpsons just predict America's biggest crash in 2026?
Jesus Christ will return on September 1st, 2025, and The Simpsons predicted it.
I mean, look at this. The Simpsons even predicted that Trump would die, and he did.
The Simpsons predicted that Donald Trump would die on August 20th, 2025, and many believe this was shown in a hidden and controversial episode. In a shocking scene, the date August 20th, 2025 appears next to then-President Donald Trump, who is found dead. In the episode, Trump is sitting in a luxurious room surrounded by secret documents, nervously talking on the phone before suddenly collapsing. The clock on the wall stops exactly at 7 a.m., moments before the camera focuses on a newspaper on the floor with the chilling phrase, "Someone very powerful will be silenced." A mysterious shadow also appears reflected in the glass just before the event.
Who is that? Who's the mysterious shadow? I don't remember him from The Simpsons.
After the scene fades to black, Marge is shown gasping while watching the breaking news on TV, and Lisa begins to investigate, uncovering a trail of clues hidden in political speeches from previous episodes. Even Bart stops joking, silently staring at the TV with concern.
Even Bart stops joking. He's so fucking sad.
The episode was never officially aired and only appeared briefly briefly before disappearing from all platforms.
I don't know how much clearer of a prediction you could possibly get. It's a shame that they had to take this episode down for being a future prediction of the president dying. The Simpsons apparently also predicted Ozzy Osbourne's death.
The Simpsons predicted Ozzy Osbourne's death in an old 1998 episode. I'm warning you, I only protect followers who comment R.I.P. Ozzy.
Guys, be warned. I only protect followers who like and subscribe and leave a comment that says, I love this video.
Homer watches a Black Sabbath concert, then the TV glitches. A message appears. Final breath of the Prince of Darkness, July 2025. A few scenes later, Ozzy sings while sitting on a throne, too weak to stand. He thanks the fans with a trembling voice. And on the wall, the date, July 22nd.
It said 9/16, 22 July. Those are two different dates. So wait, what's the point of the episode? It just, the TV says that Ozzy Osbourne's gonna die? Oh yeah, Homer's watching a Black Sabbath concert. It says when Ozzy Osbourne's gonna die, and then he sings and he's tired, and then there's a date, and it says it. That's a prediction. That's the future. You can't make this stuff up. AI-generated art accelerated the Simpsons prediction problem by at least 1,000%. It's just obscene. There's 2 Homers, there's 2 Marges, there's Trump dying on September 5th.
The Simpsons predicted the death of Donald Trump on September 5th, 2025. In a little-known episode, a character very similar to Donald Trump is shown being transported in a coffin with a chilling date in the background. September 5th, 2025. But what happens before that scene
Homer,
is even more
no!
disturbing. Before his death, Trump is said to have had an explosive argument with a major political rival. Tension rises, threats are exchanged, and suddenly, in front of shocked government officials,
Wait,
Trump
who are these
collapses without
people?
warning moments later. All media outlets broadcast the news of his death with a headline marking the fall of an empire.
God, there's so much slop, dude. It's everywhere. And it gets so many likes. I like the implication that AI is only filling in the blanks here because the original episode got taken off the air for predicting the future. That's illegal. I'm cutting in because I filmed this video a few weeks ago, and in the time since Charlie Kirk was killed, and I kid you not, the same day he died, there was already a Simpsons prediction conspiracy video about it on TikTok, and it has 162,000 likes. Marge looks so sad about Charlie Kirk. This is just so crazy. This is just so bad for the world. I'm glad this probably used like 70 gallons of water. That's just how much it takes to render such complicated movement and animation.
Charlie Kirk's fate was already in The Simpsons. In a forgotten episode, Springfield gathers for a campus speech.
Most of these prediction videos either say the prediction comes from a lost episode, or I guess this one's just a forgotten episode. People just forgot about this. It was season 12. No one was watching it anymore.
Charlie Kirk appears on stage. The crowd welcomes him, but their faces look uneasy.
So Charlie Kirk is there. He was on an episode already. People just forgot about it.
The camera pans to Homer, watching the TV at home. Sweat drips down his forehead.
He's so scared.
The scene cuts back to the speech. A shadow moves inside a nearby building. The atmosphere grows heavier, the sky glowing blood red. Suddenly, a single flash bursts through a window. The echo rings out like thunder across Springfield. The audience gasps in horror, frozen in shock. The microphone slips and crashes to the ground. On Channel 6, the broadcast fades to black. Every clock in Springfield stops at 12:10.
Okay, too much is going on. Too much is going on. Stop. God, this one sucks. There's multiple. The bio for this account says only for fun. It's not that fun. It's the same thing every time.
The Simpsons predicted who the shooter was that took the life of Charlie Kirk. In season 7, episode 16, titled Lisa the Iconoclast, they didn't just hint at his death. They may have revealed who was behind it. In a censored episode, as Charlie gives his speech at Springfield University.
Okay, so Charlie's just in Simpsons again? Was Charlie in Simpsons? This was all predicted in the episode of The Simpsons where Charlie Kirk went on The Simpsons and he was killed.
The camera briefly shows a mysterious young man in the crowd wearing a dark cap, black sunglasses, and a sweatshirt with the American flag. Witnesses later claimed he was seen moving around the area and that he was the one who fired the fatal shot from a nearby rooftop.
Wait, witnesses in The Simpsons?
At first, the moment seems irrelevant, but it grows darker as Charlie warns the audience about the rise of violent gangs in Springfield, his voice tense as he mentions hidden forces that don't want the truth to be spoken.
First of all, Charlie Kirk said that about everything. They don't want me to say this because it's racist, but that means I have to.
The lights flicker. The screen flashes strange symbols, and suddenly chaos erupts. Screams, chairs falling, and a loud bang.
Dude, that's such a huge bullet. He didn't see it coming?
The man with the cap and sunglasses is no longer there, vanishing without a trace. Many now believe this shadowy figure was the hidden hand behind Charlie's fall, part of a plan orchestrated long ago.
Is this even about The Simpsons anymore? Oh, here's another one.
The Simpsons predicted the death of Charlie Kirk on September 10th, 2025. In a little-remembered episode, a character named Charles appears. He is portrayed as a conservative speaker. He stands at the podium of Springfield University.
How many people get shot and killed in The Simpsons? It doesn't happen that often for there to be so many of these predictions happening. I feel like I would remember that, especially if it was Charlie Kirk in the episode.
Then, strange details begin to appear. The wall clock shows exactly 10:09. The camera lingers on the clock for no reason.
The only thing I like about these is that they kind of remind me of creepypastas that I grew up reading or watching YouTube videos about. Like, it almost feels like Ben Drowned or something. It's the lost episode of The Simpsons, and it's haunted, and it tells the future, and it's censored and illegal because you can't do that.
Some students raise protest signs high. A loud bang echoes through the auditorium. People scream in shock and panic. Chairs topple as the audience rushes out. The scene descends into chaos. Charles grips the microphone tightly. The scene cuts abruptly to the Simpson house. Homer sits on the couch watching TV.
Classic Homer. He's always sitting on the couch watching TV.
He drops a can of beer on the floor. The liquid spills across the carpet. On the television, Kent Brockman appears. He reports the shocking event live on the news.
Kent Brockman reporting the news is not, that's what happens all the time on the show. That's what he does. Do you even know about this show? Do you even know about Simpsons? I'm just shocked how many of these came out so quickly. Like, most of them are a day or two after he died. And it's the same format every time. Homer's watching on TV as an event occurs, Trump dies or Charlie Kirk dies, and then Lisa's watching and she circles the date on her notepad, and then Bart stops joking because it is not the time. I just don't get who this works on. Who believes these? How do these get so much traction? Other than, I guess, just being the first to a hashtag or a trend. Make sure to just start checking Simpsons episodes for assassinations. According to TikTok, we could have missed a lot of them by now. I don't remember assassinations happening in The Simpsons, but if they happen in real life, they must have happened before in The Simpsons. I don't know, there's something about The Simpsons that feels almost congenital to AI generated content. Is that the right word? I don't know. Maybe it's because The Simpsons is already an example of something human and artistic that's already been reduced to an appealing, brand safe distillation of what it once was. Or maybe because it sucks. Maybe that's why they're similar. I have a pretty strong feeling that if any TV show was going to use AI to replace one of the cast members, it would probably be The Simpsons. I don't know. They might not even wait till they're dead. One day they might just have AI Marge show up and not even act like anything's different.
Hello, Simpson family. It's me, Marge Simpson. This week's antics will be humorous and family-friendly.
Part of the issue with Simpsons predictions is firstly that people online lie about everything, especially stuff that doesn't matter at all. But The Simpsons has been satirizing issues that America has been wrestling with for decades because it's never really done anything about them. I mean, the fact that they exist today is an example of the sort of cultural stagnation that America has undergone over the last 30 years, 40 years. America has not changed, and I've always viewed The Simpsons as sort of a funhouse mirror version of America. I mean, minus a few coincidences, The Simpsons has never really predicted anything. You have to have, like, an intent to do that. The writers were only noticing things about America and about the world that still exist today, very much so. None of it has meaningfully changed. And I guess until it does, we're all just living in the Simpsons world. But that's gonna be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe or like the video if you had a good time, share it with a friend, and I'll be back before you know it. Strong. Bye.